What's good, everybody? Welcome into the Early Edge. We apologize for the late start. Had a few issues, but we hope to have them figured out. We appreciate everybody waiting in the chat as always. Pound that like button for me. We are here 7 days a week, 365 days a year. And we told you, baseball can be very finicky. Ease your way in. And yesterday was the reason why. We did nail the Phillies. Blue Jays also hit from the site, but they could not score any runs. So what is the best way to do a bounce back Tuesday? Well, let's bring in the stars of the show because I can only think, oh, there they are. Yes, it's all worth the wait when you bring the mentor and the mentee back with the OG and our NBA guy. So let's start. First and foremost, live from just south of London, England, Martin W. Green, the guru. Good morning, sir.
Good morning, Coach. Delighted to be back on the show. Got some big Champions League games to break down. Can't wait to break them down with you. Fine gentlemen again.
Oh, fine gentlemen. Now, Buckets, I understand that you're not used to everybody. Wait a second. I was going to do my normal intro, but then I thought to myself, no, not today. Not on this day. Not on the day that my man decides that he's going all in. He's pushing all his chips into the middle of the table. Full-time handicapper. Buckets, congratulations.
Thank you so much, Coach. I am also, like the guru, delighted to be here. I'm working on my vernacular now, kind of, broadening my horizon and everything, but I'm excited to be here. Got some great Champions League games, and let's make some money.
Please don't try to use words that you don't know what they mean. All right, next, he is our NBA guy, Mikey B. Mike Barner. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. The playoffs are here. All games that count. We no longer have to play who the heck is that with the Thunder starting lineup every night. It's nice to have all games that count. Let's go.
Let's go. And I'm here for the play-ins as well. Now, Maestro. Good morning, sir.
Good morning to all of you. I appreciate Eric David in the chat pushing his meeting till 10:30 so he could be here for the show. I just love stuff like that.
So do we. And again, Eric, we apologize, but it happens sometimes. That's what happens in live television and streaming and all this good stuff. Sometimes stuff doesn't work, but we're here and we're ready. So let's get into it. Storylines that could affect the betting lines today, and we got Champions League, and we cannot wait for every Tuesday and Wednesday during the Champions League window. So Martin W. Green, please start us off, sir.
Yeah, so we are now into the second leg, Coach, of the Champions League quarterfinals. They're all two-legged ties, so you play a home game and an away game. We're now moving into the second leg, and we have it delicately poised at 1-1 between Bayern Munich and Villarreal. And in the other one, Chelsea are trailing Real Madrid 3-1 after a disastrous performance at Stamford Bridge last week. So away goals don't count anymore. They scrapped that rule. So Chelsea just need to win by 2 goals to force extra time in their one, and it's all square in the Bayern Munich versus Villarreal game, so anything can happen there. Obviously hoping for a big bounce back, but we shall see. They're 1-0 down, aren't they?
I was going to say something, yeah. But
I'm talking myself in riddles here. Yeah, they're 1-0 down, so they need to turn things around pretty quickly. But at home, they should be able to pull it off. Bayern Munich have just been causing us all sorts of problems recently. But yeah, the game that I'm focused on is Chelsea. It was a really disappointing 3-1 defeat to Real Madrid that they suffered, but they bounced back with a 6-0 win against Southampton at the weekend. That was their first win in 3 matches, provided a really timely morale boost. Mason Mount and Timo Werner each scored twice, while Marcus Alonso and Kai Havertz were also on the score sheet. I'm wondering if they can use that performance as inspiration to overhaul a 2-goal deficit against Real Madrid at the Bernabeu. Going to be very, very difficult, but I'm going to focus on that game later, and I'll leave it to Buckets to talk about Bayern Munich because he knows what the actual score is.
I was going to say, is Buckets actually going to correct the guru?
It felt wrong. I didn't say anything.
You better be 100% on lock that your information is correct if you're going to correct the guru. My goodness. Buckets coming out strong this morning. But as the delicately poised talent of Martin W. Green said, Buckets is going to talk about Bayern Munich, I believe, because Bayern Munich, they have been causing us issues. We've been backing them. We've been betting on them to score goals. And Buckets, they just haven't got it done. But today a new day for them. Talk to me.
Today should be a new day for them because Bayern Munich at home at Allianz Arena is a whole different monster than when they travel. We saw that last time they played RB Salzburg in the second game, where after a very cagey 1-1 draw, they decided to score 7 times in a single game against the Salzburg Austrian side. So Bayern Munich is definitely capable of scoring. We do see them score more at home than we do as away. However, we do have a lot of kind of bad news surrounding Bayern in general right now. Talks about their Polish world-class striker Robin Lewandowski leaving the club have been ramping up. The rumors have been just going and going and going constantly. So while we should expect to see Bayern win at home, there are definitely some distractions going on. So we'll have to take that into effect moving forward as well.
It's very interesting to hear Buckets talk about distractions. Tattoos, mama calling, all kinds of stuff going on in the Buckets household. Now we got full-time handicapping going on. He's going to be a stay-at-home dad, husband, boyfriend, whatever you call it. A lot of stuff going on. But we're laser focused on today. Also, NBA playoffs getting ready to start. And the Dallas Mavericks really been surging at the end of the season. But their heart and their soul, named Luka Doncic, he goes down at the end of the final game of the regular season. Mike Barner, give us an update.
Yeah, this could be trouble. Their playoff run could end before it even begins. Weird thing is Doncic suffered a calf injury in their last game of the regular season. They were still playing for playoff seeding, but it was questionable having him take the floor. Oddly enough, he actually shouldn't have played in that game originally. He had gotten his 16th technical foul of the season the game prior, which would have meant he was suspended, but it then became rescinded. So maybe he should have just been suspended for that game. They would have been better off. He had an MRI. The results came back confirmed a calf strain. They still don't have a definitive word on his timetable. The series starts on Saturday. If he's not ready to play right from the start or misses more than one game, they could be a quick out here.
Yeah, and that could be really, let's be honest, Mikey, it looked like it was a torn Achilles or a busted out Achilles, whatever you want to call it. That's probably one of the worst places you can get a strain. A muscle strain is in your calf for an NBA player. So thank you for that storyline very, very much. Now, there are 2 teams playing tonight that have been going in different directions. Maestro, bring it home.
Yeah, the Clippers finished strong, 6-1 straight up, 5-2 against the number with Paul George back, and they did handle the season series, but I really don't want to put a lot into that because a lot of the games were a long time ago. A lot of key guys were out on both sides. The one thing in this matchup is the Clippers are an amazing shooting team. When you talk about Paul George and Marcus Morris and, of course, Luke Kennard, and the T-Wolves, as great as they are offensively, they do give up a ton of threes. Despite that, the T-Wolves are at home. They have been the better team, the deeper team, and that line is moving. It's open 1.5. It's up to 3. We're seeing some 3.5s, and I think if it gets to 3.5 or 4, you're definitely going to see pros come back on the Clippers.
Oh, interesting. Pros on the Clippers. I want you to remember that you just said that, Maestro. All right, let's get into our board today. And if you're not a member of SportsLine, our community is growing and growing and growing. We're always powered by SportsLine, and we want you to be a part of it. There has never been a better time. Think about it. NBA playoffs starting right now. Major League Baseball, NHL. You got all the Champions League and soccer that you could want, all for one very, very low price. So today, from SportsLine, we're going to White Sox on the money line, -130. The Mariners starter, Matt Brash, he has never pitched above the AA level. That usually doesn't go great for new pitchers. So we'll take the other side. And that's also that is from Matty Severance. So Matty Severance making an appearance on the show today. Also, I'll give you a second play. We're going to go under Clippers and the T-Wolves. Normally, when you get to the playoffs, things slow down just a little bit. It's more physical. And this number should be down in the 220s. It's still at 230. We'll take the under there. All right. Now, we told you that today we're very, very excited. It's Bounce Back Tuesday. And we believe in certain things here at the show. And I believe that the last time we did this order, we just scored. So, Buckets, I'm putting it on you, big boy. Putting it on you. You're first to go today. What do you got?
All right. We are going to jump into both of these Champion League games, starting with the Bayern Munich matchup first. This is a pretty tricky game to cap here just because the odds are kind of all over the place. The books have zero faith in Villarreal to get something done, as Bayern is down 1-0 and are still minus 380 to qualify. So we got to find value where we can find it here. So I'm taking Bayern Munich to score in both halves at minus 130. I think Bayern is going to have to start off extremely aggressive from the get-go. They'll go up 1-0, kind of bridge that gap, and then do what they do in the second half and take things home. Going over to the Real Madrid versus Chelsea match, again, this is kind of a tricky one to cap because we do see Chelsea play similar kind of to Bayern. They have very high highs and they have very low lows. However, I am taking both teams to score here. Our favorite bet, because I believe Chelsea has nothing to lose here. They're going to come out very attack heavy and go for goals. And on the opposite side of the pitch, you do have Vinicius Jr. and you have Benzema, who are more than capable of counterattacking and making this match a nightmare. So both teams to score is our favorite bet on that one.
I think that is my favorite bet of the entire day because of exactly what you said. One team needs to be aggressive, and the other team is always very good with their attack. So let's hit it right in the middle with a BTTS, as the cool kids like to say. Now, Buckets, very strong start, but we're only as strong as our second leg. Oh, did you see what I did there? Second leg. Martin W. Green, you're up.
Thank you very much, Coach. I'm still basking in this comment from Johnny Potseed, who says that the Queen should be thinking about great name, by the way, who said that the Queen should be knighting me around about now. So, Your Majesty, if you're listening, please make it happen. But yeah, I am also focused on the Champions League. As you can imagine, I have no focus whatsoever on the Bayern Munich game. I'm all about Chelsea today. As you said, it finished 1-1 when these teams met in Madrid last season. So Chelsea does know how to get a result in the Spanish capital. Last year, they won the second leg 2-0 at Stamford Bridge to progress to the Champions League final, went on and won the competition. But the situation is completely different now, as Chelsea are losing on aggregate. And like Bucket said, they really need to take risks and try to cut out a 2-goal deficit as quickly as possible in this game. That's why I'm also going for both teams to score in this match. Not my play for the show, but I am backing you 100% there. I also had a little bet on Karim Benzema to score as well, because he has just been on fire lately. And Vinicius Jr. and Benzema on the counter-attack should be really, really dangerous in this game. But for this show, I'm going to put forward Chelsea draw no bet at plus 100 as my pick. A draw or even a 1-goal defeat would suit Real Madrid in this game because they would go through to the next round on aggregate. So I don't expect them to show quite as much ambition as Chelsea in this match. In the last round, if you remember, we saw Liverpool beat Inter 2-0 in the first leg. And then Inter won 1-0 at Anfield in the second leg. That just tends to happen in second leg games here and there. So I think we could see a similar story unfold in Spain today. So that's my bet, Chelsea draw no bet. And because I've got nothing on the Bayern Munich game, I'm going all the way down into League One, which is the third division of English soccer. I've got Wigan against the mighty Burton Albion. Burton is where they brew the country's beer, and Wigan is where they make the pies. So two great places. But of the two, Wigan are in great form right now. 4 wins and a draw from their last 5 games. Burton are down to 17th, really bad form. They've got 1 point from their last 3 matches, but they're not really in relegation trouble. So I don't think they're going to have a great deal of motivation in this game. It finished 2-0 to Wigan when the teams last met. So I'm betting on Wigan to get the job done again tonight. Wigan at minus 130. There you go.
Oh my God, you are unbelievable. I could literally listen to you give takes all day long. Now, apparently, though, I'm the only one, because as you were so eloquently giving out your 2 picks, all of Bucket's followers were being very rude in the chat. Buckets, baby! Buckets is so cool. Oh my gosh. Buckets is so cool. From Buckets 999. I told you, get your brother out of the chat. All right,
yeah, I'm going to have a word with my mother and my wife, because the Buckets family are putting me to shame. They're all on. They're all bigging him up every show. Mine are just downstairs, not even watching this. So I've got to have words. It's not good.
Oh, so disrespectful in your own home. In your own home.
I know.
All right, we've got to move on, and we know where we're headed right now. We've got to get back onto the court tonight. Mikey Barner, you're up.
Yeah, I don't know if I have good nuggets about where pies and beers are made. I don't. That's going to be tough to follow, but I do have 2 wagers here for us to consider tonight. I got one that's a little cautious and one that's a little out there, so a little bit of something for everybody. First, we'll go with our cautious bet. It's a parlay. We're going to go Nets money line and Hawks money line at -111. Those are the best odds that I found. That was on DraftKings. I don't see any way that the Nets lose to the Cavaliers. I do think the Cavaliers cover at +8.5. I've got that up as an official pick on SportsLine. But for this safe parlay, we'll go Nets money line. And then the Hawks play the Hornets on Wednesday. The Hawks have crazy home and road splits. They were 16-25 on the road and 27-14 at home. That's pretty crazy. If I had to pick a game side of the line there, I would think that the Hawks would cover the -4.5 number. But again, for our cautious parlay, we're going to do Nets money line and Hawks money line. And then for our bet that's a little bit out there, we're going to do Nuggets series win over the Warriors, which is +190 at Caesars. The Nuggets, they're real tough with Nikola Jokic running the helm. He dominated the Warriors this season. The Nuggets went 3-1 against the Warriors during the regular season, and across those 4 games, Jokic averaged 28 points, 15.8 rebounds, and 8.8 assists. Just wild numbers. Steph Curry hasn't played in a month. We don't know if he's 100%. The expectation that he's going to try to play in this series, but if he's not at 100% or if he's rusty for being out for so long, I could see the Nuggets winning this. I wouldn't put a ton of money on this, Coach, but I think it's worth a little bit of a sprinkle.
Oh, I love when you do that. I love when we do the little sprinkle. I couldn't believe this number. I really think the Nuggets are just, even with Steph Curry, I think the Nuggets are the better team. I just do.
They're tough.
We don't know.
They're real tough.
They are. And when he gets in, he's made for the playoffs. Jokic is made for the playoffs. Like he's an NBA player made for the playoffs. Buckets, I'm not going to ask you to respond. I don't even want you to say anything, but don't think I don't see you typing a compliment to Martin Green in the chat while Mike Brunner is giving a take. I thought we'd been through that before. What is going on? All right, we've got to the Maestro. I apologize. I feel like this show is kind of beneath you right now. I really do. So, it's your part of the show. Let me just get out of the way. Buckets, no more typing in the chat to Martin while Maestro is talking.
All right, I'm going to look at the Bucks and the Bulls, and I'm going to look at history. Giannis has beaten the Bulls 13 straight times. The Bucks, 16 of the last 17. They swept in this season. The last 2 times were not close. Brook Lopez came back. He's healthy now. They're healthy. The Bulls still have injury issues. We know no Lonzo Ball, but Caruso and Levine both managing injuries. This is just a mismatch, and I'm going to play the Bucks -2.5 games at -180. That's on Caesars. Basically, they got to win 4-1 or 4-0. And the Bulls could get hot one game. DeRozan and Levine could go off. I don't think it's going to happen twice. More likely is a sweep, but we'll take the 2.5 games at -180.
I'm trying to remember who it was a year ago who started cashing these type of bets right here on the early edge. Can you help me with that, Maestro? Who was that?
I did hit a similar bet on the Bucks last season.
Yes, you did. And we're going to do it 2 years in a row. The Bulls are terrible. They are terrible.
As a Bulls fan, I co-sign that. They haven't beaten the Bucks with Giannis on the floor since 2017.
Oh my
I co-sign.
That's incredible. It's incredible. By the way, why Mikey and Maestro being very professional, Martin Green is now stooping to the level of buckets. He's typing back the buckets in the chat just to mess with me. That's what it truly is, just to mess with me. Oh, Allison, where is Cash with the coach? Allison, I'm wondering the same damn thing. I forgot my own segment. Don't worry. We've got it in the recap. I'll give it to you very quickly because we're up against it. Grab your paper. Grab your pencil. Here is the recap, courtesy of the jeweler. And it looks absolutely glorious. Maestro, today we're going to go Bucks -2.5. Get that in before it goes up. This is going to be an absolute sweep. Mikey B, Nets money line, Hawks money line. He put it together, -111. Love that number. Then the Nuggets to win the series. As he says, a little bit out there. I say not so much, +190. Martin W. Green, the guru. Chelsea draw no bet. They're down 2 goals, remember, in the aggregate. Then we get on the money line, -130. Then buckets. Bayern Munich, they're down a goal. they're going to score in both halves, minus 130. Then Real Madrid, Chelsea. We think there's going to be a lot of offense there. Both teams to score like that. And then my pick today, and I'm backed up by Micah Roberts from SportsLine. Clippers plus the 3. You heard everything the Maestro said. I backed that up with my pick. I don't need to go into it. Clippers plus the 3. Minnesota's really been struggling as of late. Then 2 big plays from SportsLine. We're going to go White Sox money line, minus 130. Clippers, T-Wolves go under. It's the playoffs. Things slow way down. Then the AB3 plus 281. All money lines. You know how we do it. Nets, White Sox, Dodgers. Oh, this day feels really good to me. And thank you all so much for being so active in the chat and being a part of what we are building and is building so fast. There's only one thing left to do, and I believe you all know what that is. You've got your marching orders. Let's take all of these tickets straight to the pay window. For my entire crew, I love them all. Oh, Mikey B, the Maestro, Martin W. Green, the Guru, even Buckets. And, of course, the jeweler, he's always there to step in when we need him on the 1s and the 2s. I am the coach. Don't forget tonight, 6 p.m. Eastern time, a full Early Edge Live breaking down the 2 play-in games in the NBA. We got it all for you, top to bottom. We'll see you there. In the meantime, I am the coach, and this is the Early Edge. Good luck.